We're recording.
We're here. We did it. We did good today.
We did.
No, fighting for our lives or anything.
Just,
Well,
regular day. Prior to
um,
this, we were fighting for our
I was
lives.
about to say, yeah. No recording fighting, the lives. Yeah.
Right. Lives was really fighting. But the recording
Recording
apparatus,
is good.
look at
Yeah.
this. Can't win them all.
Well, what is this? 4? 5, episode
I think this
5.
is episode 5.
I'm so proud of us.
Me
Welcome to
too.
episode 5 of Unplanted Podcast. We are two cousins and Bible nerds just out here telling the truth. Okay. If you are looking for a place where, if you can't find your place in the church and you're looking for a place to belong, this is the place for you.
This is it.
Well, we have tackled some tough subjects. We've talked about church being a scam. We've talked about scammers in the church. And
Mhm.
this is appropriate because now we're going to talk about the music inside the soundtrack to the scams.
Oh my
Hmm.
God. That's the name of the episode. The
That's the name
soundtrack
of the intro.
to the
Today's
scam.
episode, we didn't know that until now, but today's episode is called The Soundtrack to the Scams.
Mhm.
And we're here to talk about surviving Maverick City Music and Company and, all the
It's
other,
all.
yeah, right, all the other contemporary Christian music groups. They have taken us through
Down through there.
a lot. When did I should hold on? I'm gonna look it up to see when Maverick City actually came on the scene.
Oh, that's a great thing to look up. I feel like it was like 17, 18, but it probably was before that.
I think it was COVID, but let me see. That would just be appropriate. Let's see. I
Yep,
love
it
that one of the searches is original members because baby, they have gone through some members. Okay, founded in 2018,
yeah.
public debut in July 2019.
Yeah, I felt like it was around that time.
Wow. So that's a wait, that's a while.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it's been a minute. Like I remember when they were doing funny ironically, the way I was introduced to Maverick City Music was through like a social justice lens. Yeah. I know. Exactly.
The spirit of confusion.
How far we've come. Yeah, like they used to do these like videos or something and they will be talking about like or Chandler will be talking about social justice stuff. And he wanted to put together this group for like outcasts and people who were like I'm not phrasing what he exactly said, but like the misfits. And so he was trying to bring people together and he would be talking about, like the killings of black men and things like that. That's how I was first introduced to Chandler Moore and I don't know the other guy's name. I can't ever remember it. But yeah, like they used to talk about a lot of like social justice things.
I was about to say we're talking about Chandler Moore and Maverick City Music. Now
Mhm,
I do
mhm.
know that Maverick. I heard something where they were like, Maverick is a outcast or something, and that they were trying to, create a community for misfits, all the things. But
Yeah.
okay, I that's
But the minute I heard that music, I was like, I don't know that this is gonna be the soundtrack to the struggle, but good try, guys. Good try. Good try.
do you remember the Juneteenth album that they had?
I try not to.
That Juneteenth album, I was like, what is happening? Okay, well, the soundtrack to the scams is absolutely 100% Maverick City Music, Elevation Worship. What Elevation Rip, they got a whole bunch of things happening. All of those type of groups that I feel like it should just be all one mass choir because it's all these artists in all these separate groups. Then the groups intertwine, change around, and then we got. I'm just like everybody is in the group, and then all the chords are the same. So I'm like, all the
And
songs the same,
they keep recording the same songs. That's the
right?
part that really, like, confuses me. I
Right.
will really love a song. For instance, what was that song? Osby Berry was, like, the person who kind of made it, popular, and then, Kiera Shear did a version of it. The people who are listening will know exactly what I'm talking about. Indescribable.
I was about to say indescribable,
Yes.
uncontainable. Hmm.
Yes, I remember I first heard that from Kiera Shear. Now you hear Kiera Shear do a song, and you're like, "Okay, yeah, like, cool."
Yeah,
And then I went to look it up,
that's Chris
okay?
Tomlin, ain't it?
Yes. Imagine my shock when I go to look up a song and I'm thinking I'm about to get Kiki of the Clarks, you know,
Right,
Karen and them, and I
right.
get campfire songs. I was I was broken. I was like,
Why is
"Where?"
campfire song so appropriate?
Yes, that's what they are. They're campfire songs. And so I was just I don't understand why they keep all recording the same songs, and then you hear a version of it that you really like, and now I've got to go travail through the woods to find the one I want.
Travail is crazy.
Sorry, that was such a churchy word. I'm a church
Crazy,
kid.
but accurate. No, facts, because you hear the songs, right? You never know who's singing. Like you never know the origin or who wrote it, who sang it, nothing. So you hear the songs, and we'll talk about lyrics here in a minute. But it's like it's all the same. And I do think that the intent in the beginning, like with Maverick. Now I ain't never heard no social justice. I missed that part. But
Yeah,
the intent on, having a place for people to come, misfits, all the things. Because they used to have they used to not tour, but they would be in the living rooms and
in the
they would
big
have their little,
circles.
yeah, yeah. I'm all about a circle.
Mhm, I know,
So
yeah. The aesthetic,
right.
I was feeling it.
Yeah, I loved it. And things always get convoluted in some type of way. So the original intent I thought was great. And then I didn't feel like the songs in the beginning were not as self-deprecating as they are now, right?
Yeah, because they weren't in the beginning, it wasn't like true what I would say is CCM. It was more
Yeah.
like, it was more like gospel guitar. You
Mm.
know, like it
Mhm.
felt a little still
Yeah.
grounded in the roots
Yeah.
of gospel, but we just did a little, BCD over it.
Is okay, that's perfect. Gospel guitar. I
Yeah.
love that. Now it's straight campfire songs. And I don't know how, things always escalate so quickly because how do we get from jumping around in the circles at the houses? They were in Tennessee at the camp, at the cabins doing all the things. How do we get from there to now corruption?
Hmm, girl.
Corruption and campfire songs and self deprecation because the lyrics be yikes.
Yeah. I feel like it's like a threefold problem. I think it's like a sandwich in my mind. Like, honestly, it feels like you have the problem of the like theology changing, and then you have the problem of it becoming mass produced, and then you have the problem of like the internal, uh, you know, group members, which I guess would be
Yeah,
actually the center of the sandwich if my
right.
metaphor
The
holds.
meat. Right.
Like the meat of it was like they also were having their own internal struggles and interpersonal issues. So I feel like it just really didn't, it was never going to work if we're being honest. It just was never going to work.
Man, I'd be having so much hope with the thing because I loved it in the beginning, but I've always wanted, to go to somebody's house with you on the guitar and we just, have great time. But
You singing.
I hate that the things don't work. Like, what do we do? It's just there's always good intentions,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
and somewhere there's one wire that gets crossed. And instead of us uncrossing the wire, straightening things back out, it just goes haywire
Yeah.
quickly.
But I think if you think about the entire kind of like the music, we jokingly said the music was the soundtrack of the scam, but it really was. When you think about like the scam that this music was kind of the undercurrent for, it
True.
was conference culture. And
Right.
conference culture really went somewhere that I feel like it should have never gone.
Yeah.
It went from being like an opportunity for people to I feel maybe this was the intent, opportunity for people to come together to hear from some of their favorite, ministers and preachers, to really being kind of Christian Coachella. Like it just
Christian
did.
Coachella is correct.
It became a hot ticket item. Like
Yeah.
and I've said this to a lot of people, but the culture of the conference really turned the faith into a brand, into an
Commercialized.
aesthetic. So
Yeah.
people weren't always coming for the gospel. They weren't coming to encounter Christ. They were coming to wear the t-shirt. They were coming
Yeah.
to be in the mosh pit. Like when we got to conferences having VIP seating so you could be in the mosh pit.
See, I've never been a conference girly. I don't know. I must have missed a conference train, or I don't know where I was in ministry at that point to where I missed this train. But I
Yeah.
cannot imagine like one buying a VIP ticket to a conference. Let's start there. But it turning into, well, I guess this goes with how the church turned into a concert as well.
Mhm.
When we turn them lights off,
Yeah.
we put the smoke machines and the lights, and it started getting a little crazy. But the allure of it all, I always get confused of what is really attracting us to these things other than, like you said, a t-shirt or, faux community and,
Yeah.
to jam to your songs. But also, what are you getting when you leave and it's, 3 weeks later and your life is in shambles again and there's not another conference coming up. But
They go to
even,
another conference.
oh,
That's the
true.
like that I
There is
think
always
that is
another one.
yeah, that to me that's the scam is that because they if I'm in Dallas and I see you in Miami having a conference and people are coming out in droves and they are on fire for the Lord and they're buying the merch and they've bought into the aesthetic, you're like, I wonder if they'll come to Dallas too. So now I plan a bigger, better one
Yeah.
here. And there are people who literally fly from city to city and that's what they do, and you see the same speaker lineup, you see the same musical lineup, like it becomes kind of a traveling road show of this brand
Like a
registered trade,
branded.
and and it's just like I think that became intoxicating to a lot of the people involved. They like the way that it felt, I believe, for people to kind of cult follow them.
Mm. I mean,
I don't
there's,
think they'll say
yeah.
that. I don't think they will admit that. But from my vantage point, which has been interesting because I have been in the audience, I've been backstage, I've sang at some of these things. So from my vantage point, I think some people fell in love with the feeling.
That's fair because, people are still human, they're still
Sure.
artists. And I saw on recently, I don't know if it was Threads or wherever, where they were talking about, how music has turned from gospel to like Christian R&B, whatever, whatever. And, people talk about there's no anointing or all the things. But I'm like, how did we go from, 90s gospel, okay? Because,
Mm,
Kirk Franklin, I can't. Kirk, I know you're listening. I cannot wait to meet
Well,
Kirk Franklin in my lifetime.
that's my homie.
Kirk Franklin changed my life. Like how we got from Kirk Franklin to, refiner. I just to being tried in the fire, purified. I just don't know how we got there.
Well, my dear cousin, I'm gonna quote you to you. The
Okay.
people stop reading their Bibles. It's
Y'all,
true. We were
I gotta
literally
say it
talking.
every week.
I think that needs to be the name of the podcast. The people start
Read
reading
your
their Bibles.
Bibles.
Like we were talking about this on Threads last night. I kind of, Threads drops you off anywhere.
Yes.
And they were talking about Fred Hammond. He just did his Tiny Desk
Mhm.
on NPR. And people were like, what happened? How did we get so far from this sound? And I mean, as a gospel lover, I would even venture back farther, like, to the Maddie Moss Clark days. Like, we've gotten so far from the sound of
Yeah.
gospel. And somebody was like, that's because if you go back and listen to this older gospel, they would literally be singing scripture. Like,
I was just gonna say,
s-
sing a psalm, y'all. We don't
straight through.
need. Yeah, Todd Delaney does that sometimes. He'll just,
Yeah.
open up the Bible. But truly, like, sing. They're there for a reason. I was reading. What was I reading the other day? I think it was Exodus when they had defeat. Who knows? God out the wilderness defeat. Who knows what they was doing? But
Mhm.
they would sing songs of victory, and I
Yeah.
was like,
The
they.
first song in the Bible was after they crossed the Red Sea, and Miriam wrote that
That
song.
was it. It was Miriam because at
Mhm.
the end she was doing her big one, had
Yeah.
everybody dancing and singing and all the things.
Come on,
And
Miriam. We love her.
yes, it was so pure just reading that, thinking they, got through this and their first instance was let us sing, let us worship, let us praise.
Yeah.
And now, the lyrics we be singing,
We
it
ain't talking about
just
that.
I don't know. I thank you for saying intoxicating because I feel like we were intoxicated, right? And we were singing these songs because it was a new movement and it was cute until you started listening and it was like, oh, first of all, the lyrics be too much, okay? We do not need all these words. Hezekiah Walker said, won't he make you clean inside? That's all we
Eight
needed.
times. 8 times.
Repeat on loop
Okay.
and
Yeah.
change the way you sing it.
And
We did
even
not
when you
need,
got a Donald Lawrence or a Richard Smallwood, where there were anthems and there were a lot of songs, those were our special occasion songs. We sang
right,
those for the church anniversary. We
choir
sang
day,
those for the benefit concert. Okay.
right,
We knew time and place on when you're going to sing Donald Lawrence's Back to Eden or, whatever. Like, there's a few
right.
words in there. Okay. It's a lot of words in a lot of his songs, but a lot of his songs are also very scriptural. I talk about Back to Eden. I joke, but I really do talk about that song because the theology of that song really is amazing. The fact that he talks about let's get back to Eden, live on top
Live
of the
on top of the
world,
world. Yeah.
and the fact that we aren't often taught this, that Eden was on a high place, because it talks about the rivers flowing down from Eden. I'm like, he's doing some deep theological work in that song.
Yeah.
And that's what we were getting in the 90s from these gospel artists. Like, they weren't just artists. A lot of them were also ministers. A lot of them were also pastors. So you were getting really good theology in song form. And that's why we are now singing about ripping my flesh open. Like, yikes. Wow, who said
Don't
that?
give up on me yet. He is not gonna give up on you at all. Like what you
That
know?
song is the saddest song.
I
I'm
know
sorry
I'm
to
not
whoever
my
wrote
best
it.
yet, but I'm trying. Like
Like, why is it so sad? We
Depressed.
could be literally, singing victory.
Truly.
Those are like we had celebratory. Sure, we had some sad songs. I mean, hello, Kirk Franklin's "Don't Cry" will still take me down through there.
Baby, that is the song.
Still,
The Easter songs so theologically sound because Donna Lawrence was just singing straight Matthew, just literally line by line the Easter
that
story.
when I tell you, I can. I was in a gospel choir in college. One time we were in Chicago singing Matthew 28.
Ooh,
Baby, it was Easter morning. We're at like a historic Black Baptist church. The spirit ripped through that church so bad because we were just like straight singing the word. It moved us. And I mean, we're 18, 19 years old. We still don't really have the grasp of what we're really singing, but you're singing something powerful just
yeah.
from like the line in the song that always gets me is when he says, "Why are you looking for the living among the dead? He is not here." We
Listen,
lost
he's
it.
risen as he said.
We lost it. It's gonna be that part for me forever.
Because well, we know nothing compares to the word, but
No.
you put a soundtrack to it.
A little, come
Yes.
on,
Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I'll raise it up.
girl. I'm going to listen to that as soon as we get off of here. Like I gotta
Listen,
hear it today.
listen. So, like, those are the things that you can fall back on, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna fall back on "Don't Cry"
yeah,
and Matthew 28 and "You Are the Living Word." Shout out to Fred Hammond being the soundtrack to my life. Like, I'm
mm,
gonna fall back on those things.
yeah,
I'm not falling back on "Don't Give Up on Me Yet." I know I'm
yeah,
not the best, but
yeah,
I'm trying, and my life is horrible.
yeah. And I'm not saying that those songs are not. Some of them are not pretty songs. They're not beautiful. But when I think about the eras of my life, and I think about the times in most recent history where, maybe I was going through a difficult time, the music I reach for is always that good sound gospel music. I That's what I
Mhm.
go to. And I'm telling you, like, even as simple as like a hymn will move me in moments where I really need, because I think there was just a lot of biblical knowledge put into those songs.
Yeah,
And I just really think that's what we're missing. Like, we're writing a lot about,
us.
yeah, and I think we're writing about an experience that maybe we haven't had.
Yeah, I can see that.
And so sometimes it falls flat, or it feels hollow, or sometimes y'all just trying to be too deep. Like,
Sometimes y'all just saying too much. It's just too much. I think whenever you look back on songs that really hold your heart, like I'm thinking about "It Is Well with My Soul" currently,
mhm,
and
mhm,
you know the story behind it, these people are really, even in the roughest times of their lives, they're really singing about dependence on God.
yeah,
Because you out shipwrecked your whole family, all the things, you're singing "Is Well my soul." That is true.
yeah,
That's singing the gospel. That's the
yeah,
gospel. And you're
yeah,
actually really putting a soundtrack to the gospel. That's where we went wrong. We was just singing for the scam.
yes.
Okay. We were
I
singing for the
think,
scam.
yeah, I think you hit it on the head. Like, I'm not gonna go too deep here, but I'm gonna say, I do have to say this.
Yeah.
I have to. Sorry, I apologize in advance. I think a lot of times the reason that the music has felt so disconnected for a lot of us is that I don't think you can put out music from a house that's not really living the ethic of the Jesus that we're following. I'm sorry, I had to say it. There's a disconnect, you
No,
know?
facts. Facts.
Like, I think because a lot of this music comes from certain churches. And I just think like people no longer want to pretend like they don't care about the ethics of the place where they worship. We care.
Yeah,
We're not going to put up with this just how it is anymore. And so the music also feels like a reflection of that rebuke. Like our, disconnect from the music rather feels like we're rebuking the house and we're rebuking the sound of whatever y'all got going.
I'm screaming. But yes, now I'm thinking about it, the bulk of some of the music has come from a house of scams. And
Yeah.
so it's almost like that kind of infiltrated everything and, drove it a different way than I feel like they intended it for it to go, which is usually what happens with things.
Yeah.
But, if we got back to the heart of things and
Yeah.
just to purity in sound, I feel
Yeah.
like music would be more impactful. Like there are songs that there are some songs that some CCM that I go to that I really do like,
Yeah.
but that's like you said, that's not what I'm reaching for. That's not what I'm reaching for when I want to praise, for sure. But it's definitely not what I'm reaching for when I'm, in like a deep guttural need of
Mhm.
something. It's not going to be, some of those. Now, sometimes it is, but
Yeah.
usually you go back to your roots. And
Yeah.
the roots were struggling, but those roots knew how to incorporate God into the struggle.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And it
think
was
you
never about them. Even, there could be singing some circumstances, but it always had Christ as the answer to the
yeah,
circumstance.
because one thing that, we were taught to do, especially if you grew up Baptist, you gonna make your way back to the cross at some point. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Like, I think even that was in the music, like how all the preachers, no matter what, how they ended a sermon, it was gonna always end at Calvary. I think
Yeah,
even in the
yeah.
music, we knew a song that's about me always has to come back to home base, and that home base being Christ. And I think we aren't doing a very good job of that in the music right now, because CCM seems to kind of have become, even when you go into like traditional churches that have always done gospel, now you go and it's mostly CCM. And I be worn out. Thank God my church don't do that. Okay. We singing anthems. I don't be knowing all them words. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of CCM in like predominantly black churches now. And that's interesting to me.
Listen, just because you gospelize CCM does not take away the fact that it's CCM. And I think, the churches have gotten smart too, because they don't sing the full song. They're not singing all them words and all them things, but they're gonna sing like the core of it, and they're gonna repeat that chorus with they different chords. But at the end of the day, it's still the same thing. What I love about change worship is, they do sing the CCM,
Yeah.
but they always gonna tag some sort of gospel to it, like, or
Mhm.
some sort of something else to it. It's not usually, always that. But you're right. It has infiltrated everywhere and it got to
Yeah.
go. I mean, it had its time, okay?
It
Right?
had
It
a
had its
moment in
time.
time.
The
It
the
had a moment in
moment
time.
has come to a close. And that's okay. Sometimes things come to an end.
Yeah, and also I think like I think that at the end of the day, it's not CCM that I'm really like against. Like, I'm really not against that sound, because for some people that is home base for them, like that campfire songs are not new. Like, they've been singing campfire songs in
Yeah.
churches, not the churches I attend, but they do sing them in churches. And that's great if that's your culture. I do think it is what we are like the core of what we're saying. It really is about the lyrics
It's the
of what
lyrics.
we're singing. Uh, I don't know that it is healthy, spiritually sound to consistently be singing negatively about myself because I don't need to think the worst of me to think the best of God.
Facts. That's it. And that's the theology I feel like that we have taken on about just like we were talking about a couple episodes ago where you got to hate the sin and love the sinner. Like there's
Mhm.
always some sort of maladaptive behavior that we
Yeah.
have to have in order to truly experience God. I got to be terrible. I got to hate the people. Like I got to be self-deprecating. I got to do all these things for God to love me. And this ain't never what I've read in the like, yes, we know we're sinful. Yes, we know we're born into sin. Yes, we know all the things, but also he came to save, to love.
Yes.
Did
Yes.
we missed that? And then yeah, we started singing these songs that do correlate with the scam. And when you go to a church and you're vulnerable, you already feel a type of way about yourself. It's just like, hey, I can pile on these songs as well because now you get new Christians and it's like you got to be gung ho about things. They are very, I'm filthy, I'm nothing because God saved me, and I
Mhm.
love that for all of them. But at what point do we come to a realization of who we are as well as who God is too.
Yeah. Mm, come on.
So
She
my
she therapized y'all too.
goodness, y'all stop the madness. Even R&B songs, there are R&B songs that I don't sing because I'm like,
I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying that. This is no, it sounded cute back then, but I'm not singing these songs now. So this isn't just the church, but if I'm coming to church, I'm coming to praise or worship God. I don't want to
Yeah.
beat myself up in the process. I'm barely making it as it is.
Right. But do you feel like it is, and maybe I'm thinking that people are more malicious than they are. It feels though like it's easier for me to get you in on the scam if you think bad about yourself. If you think that you are worthless and this is the only place that can make you better, and I have you singing that over yourself repeatedly, then it's
Hmm.
easier for you to want to become a volunteer and to be sold out and to do all the things we need you to do. I just think like maybe it's subconscious, but the sound is also what's keeping people bound to a lot of these places.
I don't disagree at all. I think it's a combination of things though. That for sure, because if you're already down and out, let's make it sound pretty to get you to stay. And
Yeah.
also, I think a lot of it is projection as well. So these people who are writing these songs that are not singing the Psalms or singing scriptures, they are writing their feelings about how they feel. Because sometimes, you're not in the best place. I feel like the people who got their journals out and said, we're going to put a B chord right here on this line, okay? And then we're in a writing group, right? They all in the circle writing. And they
Yes.
like, yes, that's how I feel. Everybody agrees. We put a pretty
Yes.
sound to it, and
Yeah.
everybody's singing their feelings, which
Yeah.
is great for your personal devotion.
Yeah.
That's cool. But if we are praise and worship leaders, what are you leading them to? We should be leading, like always, leading to the cross, leading them to Jesus. And we are leading these people to depression
Sadness. Just utter sadness.
today. But I would say everybody go to your music library, okay? And go to some of the songs that you love
Yes.
and really listen to what the songs are saying and decide whether this is a song that you should keep or a
Mhm.
song that you should unplant from your playlist library, whatever,
Yes.
expeditiously, quickly,
Yes.
suddenly. Don't wait.
Yes. And
And
if
then
you
replace it with
want,
something else that, is more uplifting, theologically sound, better for your faith and your mindset.
yes. There's so
Yeah.
much good music out there. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I um I have a playlist that in the height of my conference days, When my friends and I were traveling and going to church conferences, I used to listen to that playlist all the time. And I looked at it the other day, maybe about a week or two ago, and I was like, ew.
Yuck.
Why was I singing this over myself? Like, why were these the words that I was letting come out of my mouth? But what was so funny about it is that was the time that I was a choir director and I never taught any of those songs.
Cause
And I
you
think,
listen, you knew.
yeah, isn't that funny? Like that
That
I
goes to the health of a leader though. Like subconsciously you knew the playlist was a mess, but you also knew I would not project this over a whole congregation. Absolutely
no,
not.
no. Yeah, like as much as like I think those songs were tied to those places. It was tied to the conferences. It I think for me it made me feel like, oh, I'm back in this atmosphere with my friends and we're worshiping together. Like it was less about connecting with God, it was more about nostalgia.
Mm.
And but the songs that I knew I needed to sing over my people and that I needed to be reflected back to me were always going to be the songs that were theological, that were, Bible based, and the songs that I know got some oil on it, if I'm being honest.
Period.
Like
Period.
I just knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you knew that, so we just gonna pray that, the rest of the
Y'all
choir
know.
directors, worship leaders, y'all know you don't have to listen to whatever, the people are telling you that they want to hear, or, sometimes pastors are heavily involved in praise and worship selection of songs, which is wild. But if you don't feel like those are the things that you should be singing over people, take a stand and say, no, we are not singing such and such this week. We're going to sing something else,
Yeah.
something good, some good
Don't
old
have to
Fred
be,
Hammond.
you know, downtrodden and tried in the fire. It's all right.
And and they miss that you come out gold. Like they didn't even
I
include
know.
that part into the
I'm like,
song.
when do we get out of it? Like,
We've been Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego forever in this fiery furnace, baby.
and just singing it over and over. It's the world's longest song. And we just, oh Lord Jesus.
And before we go, these songs are always so long. Like a CCM song will last 47 minutes. And so you have immersed yourself in this for 3 hours, and we just on
Yeah.
song two. Y'all, please.
Cause y'all love a soaking session, okay?
Please. Y'all, we just got to get back to the basics.
Yes.
Okay?
And what's the
Back
lesson of the
to
day? Read your Bible.
read your Bible. The full thing, because yes, we are tried in the fire. We come out gold. Okay, y'all, let's just not leave off the whole thing. We need the full scope when we're singing anything.
Yep. Also,
I'm gonna go
a lot of
revise my
chords
playlist
out
now.
there. Use them.
Use more of those.
A lot of chords. We like them. We like them. Diminished, augmented, minors. Do your thing. Okay, that's all I have to say.
It's the minors for me. Y'all play the chords. And stop ending these songs on the four all the time too. They just abruptly end. It bothers me. Anyway, it's just a abrupt. Okay. Anywho, we're so glad. I hate it. It's just like this hard four, and then we just go on. Like, what happened here? Anywho, thank y'all for joining. Are y'all coming back? Y'all gonna come
Y'all
back for
better be.
episode 6? Please come back. We know it
Y'all
gets a
better
bit
be.
unhinged sometimes,
It's a good
but we're not
time.
the only
Yeah.
ones.
We're not the only ones. We're not alone.
We're
Mhm.
not. So we'll see y'all next week for episode 6. Thank you for joining us